What if I told you that right now? Someone you know is being abused, but nobody sees it. Not their friends, not their family, and maybe not even themselves. The bruises aren't visible, the scars aren't on their skin, but the damage? It runs deeper than anything you can imagine. Today we're talking about the 5 most misunderstood forms of abuse that happen every single day, right under our noses. These aren't the obvious ones that make headlines. These are the silent destroyers that slowly eat away at people's souls, while everyone around them thinks everything is fine. By the end of this video, you'll never look at certain behaviors the same way again. And honestly, that might save someone's life. Abuse 1. Financial control. Money makes the world go round, but for millions of people, it's also their prison bars. Financial abuse doesn't look like what most people think. It's not just someone stealing your wallet. It's your partner checking every receipt you bring home. It's being questioned about every dollar you spend, even on groceries. It's having your credit cards taken away for your own good. The abuser becomes the gatekeeper to everything. They control the bank accounts, hide financial information, and make sure their victim can't access money without asking permission first. Sometimes they'll give an allowance, like you're a child. Other times, they'll run up debt in your name and destroy your credit score on purpose. Why is this so misunderstood? Because society tells us that couples should share finances. People see a joint bank account and think it's romantic. They don't see the person who hasn't bought new clothes in 2 years because they're too scared to ask for money. The victim can't leave because they have no money. They can't work because the abuser sabotages their job or refuses to provide childcare. They become completely dependent, trapped in a cycle where freedom costs money they don't have. Financial abuse is control disguised as care, and it works because nobody talks about it. Abuse 2. Medical abuse. Your body belongs to you, but what happens when someone else decides what's best for it? Medical abuse happens when someone controls another person's healthcare decisions. This could be withholding medication, forcing unnecessary treatments, or preventing someone from seeing a doctor. It could be lying to medical professionals about symptoms or treatments. Sometimes it's a parent who refuses to get their child proper mental health care because they don't want neighbors to know. Sometimes it's a partner who hides your medication or tells you that your pain isn't real. Sometimes it's an adult child who makes medical decisions for their elderly parent based on what's convenient for them, not what's best for their parent. The worst part? Medical abuse often happens with a smile. The abuser plays the role of the caring family member who knows what's best. Medical professionals sometimes unknowingly participate because they assume family members have the patient's best interests at heart. Victims of medical abuse live in constant fear about their health. They might have treatable conditions that get worse because they can't access care. They learn to doubt their own pain and symptoms because someone they trust keeps telling them it's not real. When someone controls your access to healthcare, they control whether you live or die. That's not love, that's power. Abuse 3. Spiritual and religious manipulation. Faith can move mountains, but it can also build walls around people who need help. Spiritual abuse uses religious beliefs as weapons. The abuser twists sacred texts and religious teachings to justify their behavior. They might say things like, God wants wives to submit to their husbands, or suffering brings you closer to God, or if you have enough faith, you wouldn't be depressed. This type of abuse is incredibly misunderstood because religion is supposed to be about love, compassion, and healing. When someone uses your deepest beliefs against you, it doesn't just hurt your body or mind. It damages your relationship with whatever you consider sacred. Victims often stay silent because they're taught that questioning spiritual authority is sinful. They blame themselves for not being faithful enough, strong enough, or good enough. They worry that leaving their situation means abandoning their faith entirely. Religious communities sometimes make this worse by pressuring victims to forgive and forget, or by treating abuse as a private family matter that should be handled internally. The victim becomes isolated from both their faith community and their spiritual beliefs. When someone weaponizes your faith against you, they're not just controlling your actions, they're controlling your soul. Abuse 4. Technology and digital stalking. We carry our entire lives in our pockets, and abusers know this. Digital abuse includes monitoring someone's online activity, stealing passwords, tracking their location through apps, or using technology to harass and intimidate. It might be reading all their messages, controlling their social media accounts, or using spyware to watch everything they do online. The abuser might share private photos or information without permission. They could create fake accounts to harass their victim or contact their friends and family. Some abusers use smart home devices to spy on their victims or control things like thermostats and locks remotely. This abuse is misunderstood because technology feels impersonal. People think, just block them or get a new phone, without realizing how deep this control goes. The abuser often has access to shared accounts, knows all the victim's passwords, and has installed tracking software that's hard to detect. Digital abuse means there's no escape. Your abuser follows you everywhere through your phone, your laptop, your smart TV. They can monitor your attempts to get help or contact support services. They know where you are every minute of every day. In our connected world, digital abuse turns everyday technology into tools of terror. Abuse 5. Identity erasure. The most devastating abuse might be the one that makes you forget who you are. Identity erasure happens when someone systematically destroys your sense of self. They criticize your personality, your interests, your goals, and your dreams until you start to believe their version of who you are. They isolate you from friends and activities that make you feel like yourself. The abuser might mock your career ambitions, discourage your hobbies, or make fun of things you enjoy. They reshape your social circle to only include people who support their view of you. Slowly, you stop doing things you love because it's easier than dealing with the criticism. This abuse is misunderstood because it looks like someone just being negative or unsupportive. People think, why don't they just ignore the criticism? But when someone you love consistently tells you that your dreams are stupid, your friends are bad influences, and your interests are worthless, you start to believe them. The victim loses themselves piece by piece. They can't remember what they wanted before this person told them what to want. They don't know what makes them happy because they've been trained to only care about keeping their abuser happy. Identity erasure doesn't leave bruises, but it leaves something worse. It leaves empty spaces where a person used to be. The truth about hidden abuse. These 5 types of abuse share something important. They all happen in private. They all seem normal from the outside. And they all destroy people slowly rather than all at once. The victims often don't realize they're being abused because these behaviors get normalized. Society doesn't teach us to recognize these patterns, so we miss the signs even when they're happening to us or someone we love. But here's what I want you to remember. Abuse isn't always dramatic. It doesn't always leave visible marks. Sometimes the worst abuse is the kind that makes you question whether it's abuse at all. If something in this video made you think of your own situation or someone you know, trust that feeling. Your instincts matter, your experience matters, and most importantly, you matter. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these types of abuse surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if this video opened your eyes to something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Before you go, if you found this helpful, you should definitely check out my last video about the 6 signs of covert abuse. It dives deeper into the subtle warning signs that most people miss, and it might just change how you look at relationships forever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.